What's shaking, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay, and today we're going to do the mid-year book Freakout tag. Now, if you don't know, I have had the COVID, so a lot of my content is coming out later. However, the middle portion of the year is January 1st, January 2nd, depending on if there is a leap year. So I'm going to do my mid-year book Freakout tag from what I read from January to the end of June. So during those months, I read 93 books, and it's a total of 32,088 pages, which is pretty good for me, I would say. And so let's just get right into the tag. I have made some notes, so I'll be looking at them. So the first question is the best book you have read so far this year. I have two answers. I have one definitive answer and one honorable mention, and the definitive answer to this question is going to be, without a doubt, The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. I read this in May. Absolutely freaking adored it. It is a chunker, so I put it off for 5,000 evers because I was intimidated. But I'm going to tell you right now, don't put this off. This was fantastic. This had a great characters, great found family. Highly recommend it. It follows two boys who are in different kinds of castes in their society, and a neighboring country has taken over their country, and some things happen where they have to go to this prison, and some people break them out, and it goes from there. And it's a high story. It has everything that I normally love in stories, and so 100% adored this book and hope to read more by Chris Wooding in the future. The honorable mention is going to be Engines of Empire by R.S. Ford, which I absolutely also adored. This follows our family, a mother and her three kids, as they kind of traverse the empire, and they are important in the empire, and rebellion and all of that ensues, and I really honestly loved it. I loved all the characters, I loved all the point of views, and highly recommend, if you like fantasy, that you also check this out. It is political fantasy. Number two, what is the best sequel that you've read this year? And it seems like I read this a million years ago, but it was in January, and that is going to be The Empire of Gold by S.A. Chakraborty. So I love this series. If you have been on this channel for any time, you know that the David Bond trilogy is one of my favorite fantasy trilogies of all time. I absolutely positively adore this book. Highly recommend if you like political fantasies and love the characters, love all of them, and yes, great series. A new release that you have yet to get to. So I've been doing pretty well on new releases that I really want to get to, and so there's not that many that I would say that I haven't gotten to. But one of them is The Change by Kirsten Miller, which I got from Book of the Month, and this is following, I don't know, there's some magic, there's some three women, menopause, like it's a feminist story, I'm not sure. But it sounds fantastic, and I've heard really great reviews on it, so I'm looking forward to reading it. The second one is The Stardust Thief by Chelsea Abdullah. I have been looking forward to reading this because this has been comped to the David Bond trilogy. So looking forward to reading too. I'm not so sure exactly what this is about, but I've heard great things, so I'm looking forward to reading it. Question number 4 is, what is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year? I have a couple. So, well, I have quite a few. I am really looking forward to The Garden of Empire, which is the second book in The Hand of the Sun King by J.T. Greathouse. This comes in August, and I have an arc of it, and I cannot wait to get to that one. Also, The Last Housewife by Ashley Winstead. I read In My Dreams I Hold a Knife in January, and I loved it, and can't wait to see what she gives us next. Also, Ocean's Echo by Everina Maxwell, which she wrote Winter's Orbit right here, which was one of my favorite books of last year, and can't wait to read it. It comes out later this year. The Shadow Casket by Chris Wooding, which is coming out, I think, in November, and it is the second book to The Ember Blade. Can't wait to continue on. And also River of Stars, which the audio came out by S.A. Chakraborty earlier this year, but I've been waiting for the physical copy, and I did pre-order a physical copy, and I cannot wait to get with that. What is your biggest disappointment of the year? So I have a couple. In February, there was a new release that came out that I was very, very looking forward to, and that's Scorpica by G.R. McAllister, I believe, and I was really, really, really looking forward to this book. I just felt like the premise sounded wonderful, and it just did not deliver. The next one that I was really looking forward to is going to be The Prison Healer. And I gave this book 3 stars. It was fine. But I really thought that I would give this book 5 stars. And it just did not turn out that way. But I am going to continue on in this series and hope that it gets better as it goes. Biggest surprise of this year. So that is going to be Firefly Lane by Kristen Hanna. I am not a huge historical fiction or general fiction fan. I don't read much of it, so I did have this book and I was leery about it. I also I read The Nightingale, which is her most popular work, and I thought it was fine. I didn't get the hype as much as everybody else did. But so I was leery going into this, and it's quite large, but I loved it. I loved it. It was 5 stars. Absolutely positively nothing else to say. Just a great story of friendship. 100% loved it. Another book that was a surprise for me was going to be Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and this is just because I thought that People We Meet on Vacation, which I gave 5 stars, was just a one-off because I really did not like beach read, but I absolutely adored this. 100% love it. Happy I read it. Newest favorite author. So I can't really I don't have one. The reason I say that is because I have basically read just one book by each author this year, and so to become a new favorite author I have to have loved several books by this author, and so I haven't read a single book, multiple books that I really enjoyed by one single author. I will say that of course Chris Wooding is going to be in the running if he, at the end of the year, if he gives me another home run with The Shadow Casket that comes out later this year. And I do plan on reading more from the authors that I have really enjoyed this year, because there are some, but I can't call somebody a new favorite author if, I just haven't read but one book from them. And so also, what is your newest fictional crush? I don't have one. But I don't do a lot of fictional crushes, but I'm going to say my favorite character. I'm going to say my favorite couple. That's going to be Nora and Charlie from Book Lovers. And then, what is your favorite character so far this year? Oh my gosh. So, I hate to repeat myself, but this is absolutely terrible. All the characters in the Everblade. And also, I want to say that I love Rosamund which is the mom from Engines of Empire. She is such a strong character, and what she does for her kids is fantastic. Loved her arc, loved the characters, loved all the characters in the story, but Rosamund specifically really stood out to me. Next is a book that made you cry. I'm going to The Emberblade, of course. I'm going to shout this from the rooftops. The Emberblade. Firefly Lane was very sad. Also Full Flight by Ashley Schumacher, which has not gotten a lot of love. Ashley Schumacher has not gotten the love that she deserves. I love her. And she wrote Full Flight, and it's basically just this grief story. You know from the beginning that one of the main characters is going to die, and there's going to be the study of grief, and it's so very heartbreaking. I would recommend, if you like that kind of thing, to read it. What has made you happy? Of course, I'm going to say Book Lovers. I haven't read that much romance this year. I'm going to say Book Lovers. And also, I'm going to say Finlay Donovan is killing it, because I laughed so hard in this book. Highly recommend if you want a good time, because this gave it to me. What's the most beautiful book you've purchased this year? This was given to me. It's going to be Firefly Lane, because I haven't purchased a lot of books this year. I don't do a lot of purchasing, so I don't have any special editions or anything like that. But I really loved this cover. I think it's beautiful, even though there's a Netflix freaking sticker on it. It's not even a sticker. I wish it was a sticker so I could take it off, but I digress. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Okay, so there's several. And most of them start off with finishing some frickin' series. Dresden, I would like to get a lot further along in the Dresden Files this year so I can finish up next year. I have been ongoing that series for 5,000 evers. I also would like to finish the Cradle series, which I just started. It's also a long series. I also still need to read, and this is very shameful, is going to be The Fall of Babel, and I have to finish this by the end of the year. I pre-ordered this. I was super excited for it, and then I have not gotten to it yet. And if you don't know, the Babel series by Josiah Bancroft that starts with Sin Little Sins is one of my favorite series of all time. So, why haven't I read this? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, that's it, guys. I'm very happy with how my reading has gone for the first half of the year. Looking forward to the second half of the year and what that has in store. I will catch you guys later, and hope you all are doing all kinds of well and your reading is going fantastic, and we will see you next time.